Welcome back, everyone. Our next speakers almost need no introduction. Since first appearing at the Congress, I guess going back almost 2 decades now, we kind of introduced Jaime to the North American UFO community, and now worldwide is where he's gone. And Ettore Garza, likewise. Between the two of them, they are arguably our most anticipated presentation of the week. I won't take any more time. Jaime Maussan and Ettore Garza.
Always a pleasure.
Thank you very much. We're going to have a presentation around the most recent sightings. I believe everything is important around this phenomenon, but I think what is actual, what is happening now, is what attracts the most interest, because that evidence somehow are telling us how this phenomenon is moving. And we can see a change of an agenda from very far to very near. And I think this is happening around the world. We will see very clear videos that will prove that something is happening right now and something is going to happen in the very near future. I really believe we are very close to have a very open demonstration by these creatures. Santiago.
I would like to thank, first of all, to the UFO Congress, Bob Brown, Nicole, and Heather, the board of directors, for inviting us again to this Congress and giving us the opportunity to share with all of you the results of our research work. We all know about the UFO wave that took place last year over Texas. Well, in April 2008, I was privileged to meet Mauricio Ruiz, a family man, a respected businessman who lives in Alvin, Texas, 22 miles from Houston. And on April 11, Mauricio Ruiz had a unique experience. April 11 was a very special day for Mauricio, a day that changed his life forever. That morning, Mauricio was in the garden of his home when suddenly he had an impressive close encounter with a huge UFO craft. So we would like to introduce you Mauricio Ruiz and to present to you our whole investigation on his exceptional case. And also our investigations of UFOs in space, 2 NASA missions from last year and 1 Russian mission, including 3 incidents with images that speak for themselves. And at the end of this presentation, we have a surprise for all of you. So we would like to ask you to remain in your seats, and I promise you will be surprised. So, dear friends, thank you for coming and enjoy this presentation.
As you know, every year we have been presenting the UFOs very close to the projects in the space. Santiago has taken the task to record the full missions in the space, because we believe after September 19th, 2006, that a new era in the space started regarding the presence of these beings. What I mean with this, as you know, last 10th of September, we had a crash. We're not getting the image? Okay. As you know, the 10th of September, we had this crash between the Cosmos 2251 and the Iridium 33. Because something happened. We don't know yet what happened because, as you know, the orbits of these satellites are always steady. They haven't been able to explain why there was this crash. And it's possible a new warning because after September 19, 2006, we had the beginning of this new era. You have to remember that day because a little object stopped the Atlantis from coming back. This object was there for something from 8 hours to 11 hours, blocking the Atlantis from coming back. That had to be a warning. That was not accidental. What they want to say is probably that the space, it doesn't belong to human beings, but to every single intelligent creature in the space. In that same mission, the Atlantis was able to record this light that came from very far to very near, stayed there for a few minutes, and then left. It happened again on the next mission, STS-116. On December of that year, when two new warnings happened, when these objects got very close to the Discovery and the International Space Station. How can we interpret this? And now we have this crash between two satellites, an impossible crash. The space trash that is in the space is not floating anywhere. It is controlled. They know exactly where every single one of these crafts or remainings of old missions are. It means that was not accidental. How can we know this is truth? Well, let's watch. Let's see, because I believe this is not going to be the last time we see something like that. In October 2007, the whole mission was observed. This is just very few videos. We have presented this in the past, but we want to prove that we are being watched in the space. The Discovery landing, a UFO got very close to it. And the only way to have these images is thanks to Santiago, that records hundreds and hundreds of hours every time. And we can prove this presentation is not just about the space, but we could have a very long presentation just from what is happening in the space. These are just a very few examples to prove what I'm trying to say. Now Santiago is going to present you the videos from the last two missions from last year.
Yes, in last year, shuttle Endeavour was launched into space for mission 123. As soon as the shuttle got into space, the action began, and they began broadcasting live from space, and strange objects appeared, as usual, revealing that they were not alone, as you will see.
And liftoff of Endeavour, going where east
So
and
Endeavour finally got to space.
Okay, we're standing.
And during this broadcast, as you can see here, the camera operator very interested. What is that on the background? Strange luminous object. Of course, they don't want to comment any much, but the images are showing exactly what is happening in space.
Houston copies. That's fine, Dom. On our
And we must realize that these incidents sometimes took place in seconds, but they are very clear, as you can see here. And in this mission, there was a precedent, very interesting, that you are going to see. On March 25, the shuttle Endeavour was returning to Earth, so they performed a very interesting feature. This is a very strange object that was captured by them outside of the shuttle. As you can see here, they realized there was something there, and then they disfocused this image because they don't want to reveal too much. But now you can see in the big screen. So the action was already there all the time. But as I was telling you, on March 25, they performed what is known, here it is, what is known by NASA as the IMO star alignment. They focus the camera to space, and you are seeing here the stars, but also watch.
Just to see if we can pick up a better pair of stars.
Among those stars,
in here in a few minutes.
Luminous objects flying everywhere around. So they realized they were revealing too much, and they moved the camera. But let's watch it again.
Just to see if we can pick up a better
This is a very rare
stars.
sighting.
We'll get back
The
to
first
you in
time
a
they
few minutes.
broadcast this, I don't think they will do that again, at least not in live television. But anyway, and then 2 months later, the shuttle Discovery was launched into space on the mission STS-124.
International Space Station's newest laboratory.
And once again, as soon as the shuttle arrived to space, again, mysterious unidentified objects appear during the live transmissions, as you can see here. So this is becoming common for astronauts in space, even with the shuttle or in the International Space Station. So they don't comment too much, but the images are there. And you can see they are not alone in space. Can you see on the right part of the screen? Now, on June 10th, there was an incident that I want you to see and watch and hear.
Sorry, that's it.
Can you give more audio?
Standing by with a camcorder and caught my eye because it was saw the rectangular shape and it was flashing.
This object appeared.
Reflections as it rotated. The video ended there because we were grabbing the 400 millimeter and firing up a camera.
So the astronauts were concerned. This is NASA response. You are going to see.
This is a video, and I think it's a loop. And this is the crew is taking a video of this object as it's flying in free space there. It's very difficult without any reference there to understand or get much sense of what the dimensions might be on the object. The crew, however, them being on the scene, they were able to give us some idea, and so their reports were extremely helpful. Not only their verbal reports, but more importantly, the video and the imagery that they were able to give to us.
So there it is. They don't know what they were, that this object was, but they were concerned. Also, when the Discovery was going to land, new objects appeared, just in the other mission. So it seems that they were not alone since the first day. And then we would like to present to you a sequence, very interesting sequence that took place during the Russian mission, the Expedition 15. This is a spacewalk by the cosmonauts outside of the International Space Center.
And then we'll come back and find out
they are
that the
broadcasting,
batteries
and suddenly they
again.
move the camera to space, they open the lens and look, but the
Take a
camera
look here.
is taking strange objects, unusual traffic of luminous objects.
Okay, great.
Look at
Are
that.
you ready? Yes.
Look. You see? However, the camera operator realized they were revealing too much and he just moved the camera, but there it was. So, I think that the astronauts at this moment are convinced they are not alone in space.
This is why we believe we are being observed very closely in the space. They know what we are doing. And we have to understand that the space around the Earth, it doesn't belong to us. It belongs to all the intelligences that there are. We can use it if we do it wisely and clean. Because what we are doing right now, I don't think is something that is approved. And I believe, I really think that this accident, so-called accident, between the two satellites was not accidental. I believe it was a new warning, and we have to keep observing to try to understand what the message behind all this activity is really going and what it means. These are some of the videos recorded in the last few months, most of them in Mexico, but some of them too in other parts of the world, because I want to prove here that it's a new agenda. Starting with Cusago in Italy, April 17th, 2007. We have a very clear disc recorded by a family not very far from the house of Antonio Ursi. And not very far either from the border of France. In the south of France, in different parts of the south of France, we have sightings the 24th of April, 2007.
And we believe these sightings are related because it seems the same object.
And it seems that these sightings in the south of France are like an exercise to see what would happen if something like this happens around the world, because it seems that many people saw it, many people recorded. We have even a cellular phone that was used to record the objects, and we can see that this happened in different times of the day. And just 5 days later, and you see it was not panic, nothing happened there. Everyone took it relaxed. And then 5 days later, Antonio Ursi recorded this object the 29th of April 2007.
Corri, vai a sentire, vai a aiutare la nonna, corri.
We will go back to Antonio Ursi a little later, because I believe at this moment, besides Yalcin Yalman, Ursi, Mauricio Ruiz, Arturo Robles Gil, even Jeff Wills are people that are having the opportunity to become the messengers, the new messengers.
This is in Mexico.
This is Mexico, 12th of May 2007. A man, Jorge Alberto Perez Valencia, recorded this with a cellular phone. The video is low quality, but the object is very near.
As you can see in Mexico, the UFOs, flying saucers, fly like in their own home. And we are very excited about that. We are just waiting.
Then, just 2 days after that, the 14th of May 2008, 7 in Orizaba in Mexico, in an industrial park, a police, a security man, recorded this subject twice. Also with a cellular phone. The cellular phone is becoming a very important tool. It doesn't have the same quality than the video camera, but it's becoming very useful. 4 hours later, the same policeman recorded the object for the second time. In both occasions, all the people in that company, in that production facility, saw the videos recorded with a cellular by this man. This flap continued in Costa Rica, in San Jose. And this is important because this same UFO was photographed in Nayarit, Mexico, 5 months later. It's a 2 meters wide object, very small. On the 24th of December, 2007, El Sarango, a young man from 16 years of age, recorded this in Bogotá, Colombia.
Yes.
Presented by TV Caracol a couple of nights later.
Look at that.
Many people saw this object.
Yeah.
It is remembered as the UFO from the Christmas Eve.
Look at that. Isn't it amazing? And you can see the witness is very nervous because of the experience, which gives more credibility.
These are the pictures taken by Carlos Medina Alvarez, a man from Tepic, Nayarit. These pictures were analyzed.
Yeah. Thank you.
Also with a cellular phone by Guillermo Anaya, a Mexican expert.
Carlos Medina took 5 pictures.
3 one day.
3 one day, and later.
5 days later, he was in the roof of his house waiting for this to happen again, and he was able to see this object again and take 2 more pictures with his cell phone.
And he was very excited because he has never
in the
seen
same
anything.
state, some people, when I was there making this investigation, Oscar Herrera and his family were in Santa Maria del Oro, a lagoon in the middle of the mountains, and they took this picture. And suddenly they realized this was in there. It reminds me of the Billy Mayer cases.
Historia.
Now, this next happened on the 22nd of October 2008. This young man, Juan Pablo Nieto, was trying to take a video from his schoolmates, and he didn't realize, and he pushed the wrong button, and he got 4 pictures. The timing between each of these pictures is half a second. In the first picture, he was able to capture the image of an incredible UFO, very close to the school, very close to the students. Please, this is in Spanish. Please make an effort to read the subtitles, because otherwise we would take away the voice and the credibility of the witness.
Pues todo empezó un día que estábamos aquí en una clase de educación física. Estábamos todo nuestro grupo haciendo ejercicios. Entonces después yo me puse a tomar fotos, como casi siempre me la paso tomando fotos. Entonces le iba a tomar fotos a una compañera que estaban ahí, estaban todos. Lo que pasa es que yo pensé que era video, pero estaba seleccionado el modo de ráfaga en la cámara.
O sea, tú querías tomar video.
Sí.
Y en realidad tomaste una ráfaga de fotografías.
Sí, cuatro fotografías.
¿Y qué pasó?
Bueno, las iba a eliminar porque vi que salían muy alto. Bueno, al principio vi así, pero me di cuenta que en la primera fotografía aparecía un objeto así más o menos a esa altura, en el centro de la foto, y pues me quedé, no, pues sabe. Y la acerqué y ya fue cuando vi un objeto así largo, como un platillo en la foto, y ya pues decidí no eliminarlas. Después fui a enseñárselas a mis compañeros. Primero empecé con unos que estaban ahí sentados en las gradas, después seguí allá y se la fui a enseñar al profesor. Me dijo que se la pasara por el celular y se la pasé. Y ya después empezaron a llegar todos los demás compañeros y también querían ver la foto.
O sea, tú apenas unos minutos después de haber tomado esta fotografía, como ¿cuántos minutos después?
Pues fue inmediatamente, tomé las fotos y se las enseñé porque fue cuando yo vi la imagen esa.
¿2 o 3 minutos después?
Más o menos, sí.
O sea que es imposible pensar que tú lo hubieras podido agregar.
Sí.
O sea, fue inmediatamente todo, fue muy rápido.
O sea, ¿tú estabas ahí?
Sí, yo estaba aquí.
¿No tienes la menor duda de que este es auténtico?
No.
¿Ninguna?
Ninguna.
No hay menor duda, estamos completamente seguros de que sí es verdad. La verdad, cuando estábamos todos lanzando la bala, yo estaba de espaldas, porque yo estaba, regresándoselas. Entonces se dispersaron todos y él tomó fotos con sus amigas. Entonces ya después él nos puso y nos las pasó a nuestros celulares y entonces empezamos a ver todo. Fue todo.
¿Y tú estabas ahí, también lo viste inmediatamente después?
Sí, lo vimos, incluso rápidamente casi nos lo pasó a nuestro celular para que nosotros lo tuviéramos.
Y Carla Castillo es a quien debemos la posibilidad de conocer esta imagen. Tú nos enviaste esta fotografía, ¿por qué nos la enviaste, Carla?
Pues porque me pareció pues muy real. Es que fue mucha la impresión de ver que en el mismo instante que la tomamos, en esos segundos estarlas viendo ahí a ver qué había salido, y fue mucha la impresión, entonces sí se me hizo muy impresionante, por eso decidí mandarla.
¿Tú no lo viste tampoco?
No, de hecho nadie lo vio. Fue algo así como de que al principio no le creían a Juan Pablo, pero pues ya después dijimos cómo puede ser tan editada así tan rápido, y además se ve el movimiento de las personas.
También en las fotos sale cómo las personas van caminando poco a poco a medida que toman la foto, y en la última fue cuando salió.
The object disappeared in half a second. I believe it's an important case because of the witnesses and the way it was taken. Now I'm going to present you what we have called in English, in Spanish would be EVANIS, Entidad Biológica Anómala No Identificada. In English it would be Unidentified Biological Anomaly. What is this? Well, this is happening in Mexico more and more. This is related to the fleets, to the spheres. It's a phenomenon that is interrelated. And many times these objects appear, or creature or organism very close to what we call the sentinel. The sentinel takes care of these objects, whatever they are. I believe they take the spheres inside. They are made by the spheres. You can see both advancing exactly on the same direction at the same time. Like if the little one is controlling the big one. And this phenomenon has grown so much in Mexico that it's just amazing. This is a different video. And you can see how high they are. That's why not so many people see them. Sometimes they are in groups, large groups.
This is a fleet of Evanis, several in the sky, different colors, amazing and disconcerting at the same time. What can these things be?
And different witnesses in different areas of the city. Where are they? Why is the reason they are here? If they are just the transporters or the bearers of the spheres, they transport the spheres probably.
And despite the fact that these things appear in the sky of Mexico City,
this is another video.
There has not been a single accident with airplanes, a single one. So
different colors, different lengths, in different areas of the city. Now another group. You have to remember that Mexico has this legend, Quetzalcoatl, Kukulkan, the flying serpent, the feathered serpent, the colorful serpent. I really think this myth, this legend is related to this phenomenon. As you can see, they move like snakes. If this happened, if this is the reason of this legend, I am sure that all people had to be very impressed. This man, Octavio Fernandez, had to record some incredible videos like this. What is this?
this is weird. As you can see, the texture.
A little.
And sometimes these entities release spheres for some reason, we don't know. And maybe they are related with the UFO fleets. We are still investigating that. But these kind of sightings are increasing themselves in Mexico.
This is a different video, again. And after we saw this object moving fast, as you can see, we saw these spheres coming and making a fleet.
There you are. And as you can see, they keep a perfect formation all the time.
Sometimes they move together, sometimes they float, sometimes they travel in the same direction at the same time. There are different patterns to these fleets or another object moving very fast. The camera is still and you can see how fast it's moving. And now you have two more, a different day. All of this recorded by Octavio Fernandez. He's also becoming, like Arturo, a very good watcher in the sky. Thank you. Well, this is a surprise for you. Guess was this object recorded? It was recorded here in Laughlin, Nevada, this last Tuesday by Jay.
He's a worker of this hotel.
Jay Musty. He works here in the parking lot. He saw me. I said, I recorded an object, and he gave me this video. It's not out of focus. This is what he saw, and the object moved, and the object disappeared in a few seconds. He saw this with his family. I'm going to interview him later on to present him in my television show. The reason I received so many videos is because I have a television show from 5:30 p.m. to 8 o'clock p.m. Sunday night in a national channel. This program has been going on for 5 years now and presents the news, also the investigations, but what the people are recording and seeing, then they have a place to present what they are seeing. I have to tell you that also Antonio Ursi recorded a sphere this morning that I will present you a little later. But this morning, I mean a few hours ago here in Laughlin, Nevada. And speaking about Antonio Ursi and the other so-called messengers of the cosmos, messengers of the stars. Why? Because the objects come to them. They look for them. They let them be recorded by these persons. Yalçın Yalman in Kumburgaz in Turkey, presented by Hakan Hakdogan. It's an incredible case. Also, Antonio Ursi is an incredible case. Mauricio Ruiz here in Texas, and also Arturo Robles here in Mexico City.
Questo è il posto dove io nel 1994-95 ho iniziato a avere esperienze con questi oggetti. Vedevo apparire la sera, dopo le 9 di sera, io vedevo oggetti da dove vedi quel palazzo fino alla gru, in quello spazio là, e poi le vedevo sempre qua dietro questo muro, sopra il cielo vedevo sempre oggetti, sempre, sì, qua, e sono tra l'altro gli stessi che oggi io fortunatamente filmo nel quotidiano.
I started investigating this case in 2006. I have presented many videos. He has, I don't know, dozens of videos, incredible stuff. I've been traveling to Milan back and forth many, many times. What you just saw was Livorio, where he was born. But what is amazing is his little house in Milan, in Italy. It's a very small house with very few windows, just some windows in the roof, very few. And it's very uncomfortable. You have to understand how he records to really appreciate these recordings.
Antonio is perhaps at this moment having this unique experience and videotaping, in our opinion, perhaps the most impressive, the most spectacular UFO videos of all time, and not one, but many, result of his continuous experiences, and you are going to see some of the best of his footage.
I'm going to present just 2007 and 2008 because he has so much more, very impressive. I really recommend you. There are just a very few videos from the history of Antonio Ursi, this documentary made by Pier Giorgio Caria that you can get somewhere here in the booths, in the area where, the vending area. And I really highly recommend you get that because they are just a very few. And it's an incredible production with the story, the complete story of this man.
Graba sus videos, desde dónde lo hace. Bueno, este es su hogar. Aquí es un pequeño hogar en el ático del edificio, donde, como usted observará, no tiene ventanas. Las ventanas son en realidad tragaluces en la parte superior, lo cual hace extraordinariamente difícil no solamente el poderlos grabar, sino también la observación de los mismos. En este lugar Antonio hace sus vigilancias y a veces, como él nos va a comentar, pues cuando él va al baño, por razones naturales, pues es ahí donde le ha tocado grabar los últimos 3 videos.
Di corsa io vado, apro la vado di là, prendo la telecamera, vengo subito di qua, con una mano agguanto la finestra e con l'altra così regolo subito così e mi metto così. E l'oggetto sempre qua perché va sempre dalla parte opposta, con questa mano sempre a guardare la finestra. Con questo l'obiettivo subito così per cercare di filmare il modo migliore possibile.
It is amazing. With so little resources, facilities can make so many and so good.
Oh. C'è?
This is the video you saw, but this is complete.
This is a beautiful video. There you can see the clouds behind.
Zitta, piano.
Quali punti di riferimento?
Punti di riferimento, la sega, punti di riferimento.
Che bello, caro.
And it's following the movements of the craft.
Ecco, aspetta, guarda.
No,
guarda da vicino, corri.
No, ma quanto è grande?
Corri, vai giù a sentire, vai giù dalla nonna, corri. Corri! Se ne va! Cazzo. Se ne va, se ne va, se ne va.
Then he stops recording for a second. And he records back because he was falling. He was in a very uncomfortable position. The UFO was not there anymore. It's not that it disappeared. Then on March the 12th,
Fermo. Mamma mia.
2008, records for the second time with that camera. We can see some spots in the camera because sometimes accidentally he directs the camera to the sun and he gets these spots. And this is important because you will see
Bellissimo,
that in the next
bello,
video.
bello, bello.
And in this video you can see how the object is really dancing, letting Antonio record as much as he wants, from one side to the next. The clouds here are a point of reference. The next video was recorded the 26th of August 2008. We have many more spots on the same camera. And they can be used to be to test that the video is absolutely real. There is no question in my mind. All of this was analyzed by experts in Italy, but also by Jim Delatoso in the United States.
Cavolo, belli.
Now here you can see more
They said
details.
that the object measures probably around 10 meters, 20 yards. It's not a small object. It's not a huge object.
Belli, belli.
These are probably some of the best daylight images ever taken from a UFO. We can see here now the sunset. We can see that the sky is getting pink. The music is inside the house of Antonio. He was listening to this music when the object appeared. He went to the bathroom again and, well, they had to stop. Amazing. We have been expecting for this to happen for a long time. And this is just the beginning.
Belli.
And now disappeared. You saw how it disappeared? That's the way it is. On December, he changed the camera. Open Mind Productions, that is making an incredible work, and they are here. and I believe they are going to represent a new era for this phenomenon. The man behind this wants to prevail anonymous, but they are very interested in promoting people like Antonio Ursi or others, Mauricio Ruiz or others, Arturo Robles Gil, by giving them equipment, helping them, giving them computers and things that can help to really get the best evidence. Open Minds is also behind the analysis of a very strange creature that I will present, or we will present later on today. And they are also behind the analysis of a solid object. I won't speak too much about that because we really think that we have real evidence, I mean real evidence, after the analysis that belongs to extraterrestrials. That is going to be presented probably next year. We're going to be working on that. And very soon, we're going to have the results from this creature. But I wanted to make this remark that Open Minds, remember that name because they are making incredible work. They have asked me to be the chief investigator for this organization, and I have accepted to help them to get as much evidence and try to direct the investigations around the world to be able to get the best evidence. But I think they're going to do really something very meaningful for this phenomenon. This image, he was able to take just 16 seconds out of this December the 4th, 2008 in Milan, and you can see the difference with the camera that Open Minds gave Antonio Ursi. The image is better. And in this analysis you can see some energy around the object. And let's watch this video. The videos are going to be better and better and better, because we are going to provide Antonio with better cameras. And again, incredibly, he was listening music in his apartment. After 16 seconds, the camera shut down. I mean, the battery was new, but the object took the energy from the battery, even shut down the computer from Antonio that was very close to the place. This is the last video. Beautiful, probably the most beautiful one of all. This happened on December 24th, 2008. And you can see here a little sphere that is not a sphere. The analysis demonstrated that the reflection of the metal of the object inside the camera created that illusion. It's not a sphere, and it's neither a wire hanging on the object hanging on that. We have the analysis here that were done in Italy by, I don't remember the name of the expert. Is Pierre here? Can you say it louder? Giuseppe Carofago.
Yeah.
Okay, let's listen the analysis to this incredible video.
The reflection of sunlight off the UFO, which is also projected onto the internal optical mechanism of the camera and its lenses, causes what is known as lens flare. It's perfectly visible during the filming. The surface of the UFO behaves according to the visible spectra of the light, as if it were a prism, which is why the effects might be caused by crystal, diamantita, or some other kind of odd mineral. As the surface of the object acts as a mirror, the solar reflection is amplified. The fuselage is quite fluid looking, not unlike Mercury, perhaps due to distortion caused by magnetic fields and visible by tracing the waves emitted. We can hypothesize that its movement is in phases because on the edges of the object there's an odd figure present. At times it's clear that it almost produces a silhouette that mimics itself. On other occasions it indicates another typical emanation of energy, like heat dispersion, which leaves behind glowing proof of its movement. The effect of lens flare is evident and is continuously seen in this video, whether the shots of the disc are taken from the side or underneath. The same circumstances exist. An analysis of the corners and contours has led us to believe that this object is quite large, though not gigantic either. Further study implies examining the reflection, plus a search for other technical aspects. That includes considering reference points such as the smokestack on the building and the jet, which leaves a contrail. It's been estimated that the UFO is located in the immediate surroundings of the recording, not having been planted there after the video was taken.
Here is the original video.
Bello, 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 bello. Fantastico.
Fantastico.
Che bello, mamma mia. Oi, oi, oi.
Well, more clear than this.
Bellissimo.
And then the airplane.
Mamma
reference.
mia.
I have always asked Antonio to have a point of reference, but it's very difficult for him under that circumstances. I have asked him to go down to the street, but he prefers to record. When they are there, he is afraid to lose them. And you can see how he is inclined, and it is very clear that it's not a wire.
Those are flares. Those white
Le sfere. Mamma mia che bello.
Many of us have the expectation if Antonio could record something in lovely Nevada. And this morning,
Che cosa?
he was able, just outside here the hotel.
Perché non me l'hai detto?
Perché no?
L'ha postata, no?
For a little
Una volta che la
sphere.
spegni devi impostarla.
But it was outside, right here, this morning.
Probably they know we are here. I wouldn't be surprised. And I wouldn't be surprised if tonight, tomorrow night,
È fermo,
we have an event.
Guarda l'oggetto. È andato via subito.
Perché non me l'hai detto?
Perché no.
Gentlemen, it doesn't correspond me to talk about this case, just to present a couple of videos, because this is Haktan Hakdogan's investigation, and I believe it's a very important one for many reasons. All I wanted to prove here is that it's happening also in Turkey, and just one man has been able to record so many videos, even in 2007 and 2008. I'm going to be there with Haktan Hakdogan in June this year when these things happen, to see if we are lucky to see something or do an investigation also for the Mexican people, the Latin American people. This is one of my favorites because you can see how the object it's covered by shadow. It is like if the metal is the light itself, and then it covers itself with this shadow, which proves me that this is real. These videos have been analyzed by Hackton and by the scientists in Turkey, and they consider them real, not extraterrestrial, but real videos. I mean, they are not hoaxes. They don't know what they are, but they are not hoaxes. Now, let's talk about Mauricio Ruiz in Texas, in Alvin. Unfortunately, your friend couldn't be here with us today because he lost his house in the Hurricane Ike. And unfortunately, he has been away from recording. He had many videos from the 11th of April to the beginning of September. Many, many different cases. That's why I think he's also a cosmic messenger. Enjoy this video, please. One thing. The effect, what you see in the video, is magnetic interference, okay? The object is so close to the camera that is affecting the video on the camera, okay? You can hear it, and you can see little black dots. The more we saw this tape, original tape, on a camera, the more evident was this alteration of the tape. And this was very important because we took this tape for the first time ever to the University in Mexico to be analyzed. It costed us $2,000 just to analyze the tape, $2,000. But the results were just amazing. And after watching this story, I will present you the results. He recorded the object almost for 3 minutes, very close. The object affected 2 transformers in the area that were burned. They had to be changed. His cellular phone stopped working. He had physical problems with his memory. He was affected very much. You can see the black dots there. They are not there. It's the tape. The tape was affected. The energy was very, very strong. Sometimes these objects are dangerous. Dangerous because they have this energy around them.
And Mauricio Ruiz managed to fix the camera twice because the camera wanted to shut down. He was very concerned and tried to fix down and continue filming.
I believe this is one of the best videos that have ever been taken here in the US, and I can tell you, I can put my hand on fire for this video. This video is absolutely real, and the object produced magnetism. And this, I have the analysis with the logo of the University of Mexico to prove it. After the university realized what they had done, they called me and said, we want equal time in TV to say that it's not an extraterrestrial object. And I said, well, I never said that. I said that we found magnetism. And they couldn't prove, they wanted to discredit their own investigation. Can you believe that? They want to discredit the scientists who did it. It's true. They didn't know what to do. Do they have the rope in their neck? Thank you. Now, let's listen this incredible, funny man, incredible man. He worked with the police in Houston, in the Alvin area. He's a very honest man, very clean, very nice family. There is no reason not to believe in this incredible story.
Early in the morning, about 7:15, 7:20 at the latest that I could recall, on that particular day, April 11th, 2008, I normally come over from upstairs straight to my kitchen. I try to get something here for my dogs. That I have 2 dogs, and I like to feed them something all the time. And right now I'm just grabbing anything. But what I do, I come in and I get something for my dog, so I'm gonna go feed him. I come outside early in the morning. Most of the people already went to work, and I bring my dogs. Here, Chewy, come on. Good boy. I feed my dogs every morning. Come out here to the yard. Here, Chewy. Come and get some more. Good dog. Here. Spiky. Yeah, and as I'm feeding my dogs right here, here. Good doggy. Come and get it. You're a good doggy. I was feeding my dogs right here, and all of a sudden, you know, as I'm turning towards, you know, the horizon, towards the house and the pine tree, I noticed something that's not out of something's out of the ordinary, like a speck of something dark. And I focused myself, and I said, I kind of I looked at it for a while, and I just couldn't believe what I was seeing. So what I did, I ran inside to my house. I had the camera, my video camera, sitting there by the TV, and I grabbed it real quick because I had used it on Easter Sunday with my family, and I let it sit right there for a while. So what I did, I brought the camera, and the dog, Chuito here, he was here, as well as the other dog, and when I noticed the object, I grabbed my camera immediately, and I started to videotape from that angle. But he was growling. He was like, and I said, and I just patted him, but I couldn't talk. I didn't know what to say. I was just speechless, like they say. So what came to my mind, videotape, keep the camera going. So I'm out here, and I'm videotaping, and I'm trying to hold on to the dog. And when I noticed the object moved, either my hand shaked a little bit, and I felt some sensation, something, but I was just too shocked, you know, I didn't know what was going on. But that thing really didn't look like a plane or anything. It looked something like round, and it had something at the bottom that kind of shined, but I couldn't tell. So I got my camera, and I zoomed in. That's when I noticed the top part was either going around, it looked like, and then at one time, he did this. But when he did that, my camera captured it, but something happened. You know, I couldn't keep going. And then the object, what he did, it went up, and then it stopped. And then it went like this. And then it went up, and came all the way up. That's when I try to close in. And when I noticed that the object didn't take off, no, it just glided away, like a kite. It just glided away towards the horizon. And I just couldn't understand it. I looked at my camera, took it inside, and that's when I said, wow, I got it on tape. But at first I didn't think I got it on tape because the camera don't show it. That's funny. I said, oh. And you have to put it on pause, and it comes out, the picture, the video. But if you let it go play, you won't see it. And then all of a sudden when it stops, you could film it. You could actually videotape it. I mean, this incident here, I don't know what happened. I'm not used to this. If people say, we saw the video, but where's your voice? Say something. Well, I'll be honest, I wanted to say something, but I couldn't. Even the dogs were not saying, they normally bark, like, whoa, whoa. This time they were just, like, trying to bark, but they couldn't. I had the same thing. I was just telling, in my mind, quiet, quiet. That thing, like, if it was just sending a signal to me, like, don't move, don't say anything, just watch. And I had that little feeling, you know. Now, that's probably me, but you know what? I don't see that every day, so the only thing that I did, get the camera, videotape. The sky that morning had a little bit of fog and a little bit of mist. They call the dew, early morning dew. So I just got the camera. I couldn't focus that good. I could only zoom in because my finger on top, you know, but I couldn't, you know, focus everything. So the way the video turned out was, you know, the object and the sky, no clouds that morning. It was just kind of foggy. So it scared me. I mean, I was scared. I was surprised. And I said, I might as well just call Jaime, because I heard about Jaime. He always comes out like, this happened here, this happened there. I said, if Jaime could have something to match it up and say, I have it, okay? That's why I say, Jaime, come over, take this video with you. I'm going to give him the cassette tape. I mean, he could have it. I don't want it because every time I see it, it throws me off. I mean, I just don't feel the same. Now, I'm a retired person. I retired from the government. And I don't want to play around. I don't want to come out and say, hey, it's me, it's a fake. No, if it's a fake, I'll just tell Jaime, don't waste your time. Stay home, I'll send it to you. No, I want him to come over here. I want him to film because I believe that Jaime will provide real evidence, whether from me, whether maybe somebody else is going to have a better video. And then Jaime's going to say, it all started from Alvin on down. This could be the beginning of the new wave of close encounters where we could videotape them. And don't be scared, because if you're scared like me at first, you say, no, I don't want to do nothing. Leave it alone. No, give it to Jaime. Believe me, if Jaime knows how to deal with it, you will deal with it like me. Thanks to Jaime and his staff, I feel confident. And like I said, he's in.
Thank you. We found a second object with the same characteristics from April 24, 1992 in Mexico, in Ocotlan, Jalisco. 40 pictures by Raúl Domínguez. These are some of the best pictures. Probably you remember this object. It's a classical case now in the UFO phenomenon. And if you do this, if you turn around the object from Alvin, it's just the same. I believe both objects are very, very close to each other, probably the same object or from the same group of intelligent beings, I don't know. But then, this picture was taken in 1995 by Mr. Bartlett in Guadalajara. This is a new highway, where was a new highway, and then he got this photograph, he saw the object, and he was able to take this incredible photograph, and it's very similar. We believe it's the same object, and now, just a couple of weeks ago, I went to a television program in Guadalajara, and Daniel Monraz, a friend of mine, presented this video from 2002, and amazingly, seems to be the same object. Then we have at least 4, the evidence, and 3 more that support this kind of objects. 3 different witnesses, or 4, as a matter of fact. Now, this is the analysis that was made in the university. This is the chemist Miguel Ángel Canseco and my collaborator, Rodolfo Garrido. And I think this is the first a tape has been tested this way. Sometimes we test the image, we don't test the physics on the tape, because there is no reason to do that. But in this case, with the magnetism inside, it was very important to do this.
Can you
raise
the volume of the video so we can hear
because we
the
have to
audio?
listen what they have to say. And the audio...
Doctor Canseco, ¿cómo está usted? Muy buenos días.
Buenos días.
Bueno, parece ser que ya concluyó usted con sus investigaciones.
Sí, el estudio.
Creo que ya tiene ahí los estudios.
Sí,
Platíquenos, ¿qué encontró, doctor?
A ver, se hicieron 3 estudios. Uno que se llama microscopía de fuerza atómica, que lo que se hace es, se estudia la topología, la morfología de la superficie a nivel atómico.
O sea, va siguiendo la cinta una especie de cono.
Un cono, una punta, hace una topografía, un escaneo en una área de la superficie de la cinta y se analiza o se determina la rugosidad, la topografía y la respuesta magnética en este caso.
Muy bien, ¿y qué es lo que encontró cuando usted hizo esa inspección?
Bueno. A ver, nosotros probamos la cinta en una parte dañada.
Lo mostramos.
Y se observa, esta es una cinta, la cinta en la parte no dañada.
No dañada.
Se ve la topografía homogénea en la superficie.
Vemos que hay una uniformidad en todo lo que son los dominios.
Los dominios, sí, la altura de los picos, esta es la altura que tiene la intensidad de la señal. Esta es la cinta en la parte dañada.
Aquí está a la izquierda.
Exactamente.
Esta es la dañada y aquí vemos irregularidades en los dominios.
Sí.
Y aquí vemos más uniformidad.
Sí, aquí se ven pequeñas perforaciones.
Esta irregularidad, doctor, ¿a qué la atribuye usted, de acuerdo a su peritaje?
A un campo magnético externo, pero de acción muy rápida, para que dañara únicamente una sección de la cinta, no totalmente la cinta.
¿De qué campo, qué magnitud estamos hablando?
A ver, están hablando del orden de entre 8, aquí lo indiqué, entre 8 y 10.000 teslas.
¿Teslas? Esto es...
no, perdón, Gauss.
Gauss, perfecto.
Gauss.
¿Estos campos se encuentran normales en la naturaleza o se tuvo que acercar o exponer a un dispositivo específico?
Se acercó a un dispositivo específico, sí.
Correcto.
Sí.
O sea, no hay duda, solamente la única forma de explicarlo.
La única forma de explicarlo, sí. Pero además, muy rápido, ¿no? Sí.
O sea, ¿quiere decir que la fuente que se emitió fue una fuente rápida o cómo? No entiendo.
Sí, o que hay un campo magnético intenso de esta magnitud que pasa la cinta, no se pasa rápidamente y ya.
Entonces, y esa es la característica, la huella característica que se encuentra en sus estudios.
Exactamente, sí. Estas son fotografías iguales, con una amplificación mayor. Entonces,
estamos hablando de la cinta que es normal.
Esa es la cinta normal.
No dañada.
Ajá.
Y esa es la cinta dañada.
Dañada, exactamente.
La irregularidad de los dominios y la presencia de estos especie de insuficiencia de dominios nos habla del daño.
Sí, de valles y crestas, y aquí hay una separación mayor que en este caso. Esta es la parte tridimensional del estudio.
Correcto. ¿Y este estudio de acá, estas imágenes, doctor?
Estas son las mismas imágenes, pero en plano. Todo lo que yo veo es únicamente la superficie del material sin meterme a la topografía.
¿Corrobora lo que usted nos está indicando?
Exactamente, sí. Pues aquí lo que se observa es, otra vez, los dominios magnéticos homogéneos en la zona de la película no dañada, y esa es la zona de la película dañada, entonces ya se ve una diferencia muy grande.
¿Y cuál es el dictamen que usted tiene de la diferencia de estas dos?
El efecto de un campo magnético externo sobre la cinta.
¿Sobre la cinta dañada?
La cinta en la zona dañada.
¿En la zona dañada?
Sí.
Pero no nada más hizo usted un estudio desde el punto de vista de microscopía de fuerza atómica. Tengo entendido que también utilizó otros sistemas que creo corroboraron su observación.
Exactamente, sí. Se hizo un estudio de la isometría. La isometría es una técnica que nos permite medir varias cosas. La importante en este caso es el índice de refracción de la superficie de la cinta, de la superficie magnética de la cinta, con respecto a la energía de incidencia de un rayo, y lo que me genera es esto, me dice cómo cambia el índice de refracción de la muestra y cómo es la homogeneidad de la superficie en esa zona.
We have then proof, scientific proof to this case, probably for the first time. With this, the scientists cannot say there is nothing to be analyzed, there is nothing to study. Here they have this tape they have this case, and there is nothing they can do about that. Arturo Robles Gil, as you know, I have presented many times videos from him. I believe he's the fourth messenger of the cosmos. In this case, he's a retired photographer, close to be 70. Even though he stays for 8 hours, 4 in the morning, 4 in the evening, to record some of these videos. Like these three objects moving very fast in the sky on October the 4th, 2007. Or this sphere, recorded a month later. You can see the sphere coming down from the sky, like analyzing something. You can see that the movement is intelligent. Now it's going up, proving that it's not a balloon.
Arturo has developed this perception. When he feels there is going to be a new sighting, and this one is very, very original because we have spheres with black in color, which are not very frequent, as you can see, and all of them keep the formation, and of course the Evanis.
Probably he has more videos from Evanis than anybody else. It's just amazing.
And also this phenomena has proven to be global because these kind of entities have been seen in other countries, here in the United States, and it seems that those rare sightings are increasing. But in Mexico, the frequency of these sightings are surprising us. And at the same time, this continues to be a challenge to try to discover what these things are in the sky, sometimes alone or sometimes
You can see
the sentinel.
The sentinel. Many times the sentinel is just there taking care of the big objects. It is clearly who controls the situation. Look at this one. This is huge. Huge. This is 20 kilometers away from the photographer. 20 kilometers away.
And we have made some tests in Mexico City, some recreations just to see the behavior, shape, but the balloons just exploded at certain altitude, which proves these are not balloons. This must be something else.
Yeah, I was able to buy 2 balloons, to send them, to create 2 balloons like this. Smaller, much smaller than this, and it costed me $1,000, 2 of them. And they froze and they separate after a few minutes. Look the movement. It's very organic. The color. Now it's black. Sometimes it's red.
So unless there is some millionaire in Mexico playing games, which we don't think so, we had to look for the answer for in another direction, and look how they behave.
September 30, another fleet, the very famous fleets in Mexico, they have been seen everywhere around. You saw the object going very fast from them.
So this large amount of spheres in the sky, just keep in mind, they are over Mexico City, and the air traffic in Mexico City is very intense, so you may wonder What about the airplanes? Well, there has not been a single accident. And we are very surprised because with so much spheres in the sky, well,
more Evanis. This is just the last videos from this man. I mean, he also has hundreds.
we just lost count of how many videos Arturo has. And they keep appearing. And you can see also the Sentinel there. Sometimes these Evanis release spheres. Now you can see the airplane. That is what I was talking about. Mysterious spheres. Now you can see here that the big Ebony is releasing spheres right there. So we don't know what this means. We don't know what this means. And also other sky watchers have filmed this phenomena in other cities. So it's happening all over Mexico.
30th of November, they continue.
And this is huge. Look how many of them. How many? This is a real flotilla.
The day after that, November the 4th, we had this accident in Mexico City, the airplane, where the Secretary of Interior was killed. I didn't want to mention this possibility. I don't think it was related to the presence of the spheres. They should check because it could happen. I mean, as Santiago has been telling you, has never happened until now, but it's not a guarantee that will happen ever.
And yet there is also a certain concern by the commercial airplane pilots. But, well, we are confident that there is an order on this.
February the 1st, something very strange in the sky. I don't know what it is. There were many formations this year. I won't bother you with that. The season in England was the longest ever, from April 19th, and it finished in Brazil November 9th. And we had formations all around the world, in Germany, in Italy, in Switzerland, in Czechoslovakia, in South Korea, many places. In England, there was the longest season ever. It lasted until September 28th, 2008. Has never happened before. Normally, the season finished in the middle of October. I mean, in the middle of August. I'm sorry. 15th of August. This year was at the end of September. This is just a brief segment that, because I enjoy very much presenting this, I hope you like it. Yes.
Yes.
Everything is from this year.
No. This year or last year? This year, este año o el año pasado?
This year. Well, this last year. 2008.
2008.
This will appear in 888. Many of us were there because we were expecting this to happen. It happened in front of us, and nobody saw anything. At least 300 people. It was the rainiest August we have ever had in England. It rained every day. The most important formation appeared on August 15th, 2008. We have told you about the so-called August messages. Something happened in the middle of August. The most important message. Why a cross? Is this a religious message? No. I believe they know what this symbol means for humanity, or for some humans. It means the love of God. It means that we have to love each other. It means something in these times. What is happening to us? What is happening to us in my country? Everybody is killing each other. This is wrong. What is happening with the economical crisis? We need each other. We have to be together. We have to shake our hands. This is a time to reconciliate. This cross measures 300 meters, that's 600 yards long, 400 yards wide. It's huge. We have to fly very, very high. It's perfect, not a single mistake. Nobody dared to take the credit for this formation. But it was just the first, because it happened 2 more times, and that's why they are insistent in giving us this symbol. Not religious. In the model how in her side earthfields, earthfile.com. The message here is beware. What is beware? You know what is beware. Taking care of, be alert, be on the lookout, watch out, keep your eyes open, be careful, watch your steps. That's what it means, beware. And we have to remember the message from 2002. When we went there, I went to England 3 times this last year. 3 times. Every time a new cross appeared, I went back. The 3rd time, I was a little late. Even though that the corn was young, was cut, was harvested. But the cross remained there as a miracle. It resisted to disappear. It wanted to be seen, and was very emotional for me, because even though there was no corn, there was no harvest, there was no plants, there were no plants, the symbol was still there, resisting to be recorded for you, for the world, for the people to recognize, to be humble, to remember that there is a God. And then I want to remember this, just one thing. The message here was, you remember the second line? Much pain, but still time. And now it's beware. I think beware is the second message. And I think there is going to be a third one. And we have to really be watching this. I think they are really trying to communicate. And we have to remember this on the 14th of August, 2005, just before Katrina. And now in December 2008, it happened again in Russia. And this was presented by the Russian television. Is this an optical effect? I don't know. But the coincidence struck me. It seems that someone wants to tell us something. As I said, and this incredible video also recorded and presented by the Russian television is really spectacular. Watch this very carefully. Is this a signal?
Yes, strange things are happening in Russia. Sightings. And they are also very interested, the media.
Now, what many of you were expecting.
Yes.
In May 2007, some people came to my office and brought a little creature to me. A creature that was captured in this ranch. I thought it was a little monkey. I said, well, we have to analyze this in the university. If you really want to know what it is, I cannot tell you it's an extraterrestrial. I thought it had died when it was captured by the trap, by a rat trap. This was a very prosperous ranch. There were many animals, a lot of activity there. 2 months later, like a curse had failed on the ranch. The owner was assassinated. The ranch was abandoned. Nothing related to drugs, nothing. A real mystery happened here because there is almost no one there. The ranch has been sold, divided. There is nothing there. It was very difficult for me to find all the people related to this case. When a Japanese crew wanted to go and investigate and open minds, wanted to get the creature to be analyzed. It took me a few months to find the widow. Fortunately, the creature was there. This is the creature as it is now. It's mummified. I didn't know there were pictures of this creature alive. It was until I got in touch with this woman, working with Open Minds, that we received this photograph. This photograph is when the creature is alive. I never knew that this creature was kept alive for more than 12 hours. Okay, that photograph is the only one that I'm going to present for the official video of this presentation. The rest of the pictures are going to be shown after this presentation is done in a few minutes, because we don't want to really release everything in this case until we have the results of the analysis, which is going to happen over the next month. But this is really amazing. If you watch the ankle of the creature, it's not a monkey. When you watch the hand of the creature, it's not a monkey. When you watch the eyes of the creature, it's not a monkey. It has as many teeth as a human being, has the same number of bones in the back, in the spine as a human being. It doesn't have hair. The creature here is alive. It had eaten its own hand to try to escape. These people was afraid that this creature escaped, and they killed it. They drowned it. The first time for 30 minutes, but it didn't die. The second time for 30 minutes, and it didn't die. The third time all night, and it died. I think it's ignorance. I think it's that these people don't know how important something like this could be. But at this moment, we are taking this very seriously, and we are analyzing this. This could be one of the first extraterrestrials. It could be, or probably an unknown species from Earth. But I don't know anything like this. You see how small it is? The size of the head is similar to the size of the head of humans regarding our own body.
In these images, the creature is subjected to analysis and studies by scientists.
Something important, the feet have not matured. According to the experts, this was an infant. It was not an adult. People in the area had seen these creatures 80 centimeters, more than 2 feet in size. And we think those are the adults. This was a little kid. This is being analyzed by the National Association of Forensic Science in Mexico.
Cuando hablamos de occipucio que está prominente, está más, no es el normal de un ser humano normal, que debe estar cortado, que está prominente, está como casco de los que usan de la bicicleta de protección. Llama la atención obviamente pues, la presencia de esta prominencia que es la cola, los dientes, que de acuerdo al experto en odontología, es la misma cantidad de dientes que se tiene, que es de 28. Siempre que encontramos algún cadáver o que encontramos algún sujeto sin vida o que encontramos incluso fragmentos óseos, se tiene que hacer un examen preliminar para tratar de determinar ciertas cosas. Obviamente no es definitivo, por eso digo preliminar, el cual nos va a orientar. Aquí estamos enfrente de un cadáver de pequeño tamaño, momificado. Eso nos está hablando de un periodo de conservación. Por las características, son características humanoides, aunque presenta o tiene la presencia de una cola de bastantes centímetros, casi del mismo tamaño del cuerpo. Tiene características faciales en los dientes, por ejemplo, las características también humanas. El resto del cuerpo más bien parece humano.
Ahí la relación nace de una invitación que me hacen a conocer las oficinas del señor Mario Moreno, y dentro de las oficinas donde él trabajaba tenía un área donde él se dedicaba a tener caballos y algún otro tipo de animales como águilas y halcones. Estando dentro de ese lugar, él me invita y me distrae un momento para conocer físicamente algo extraño que habían atrapado en el lugar. Recordando ahí un poco, era un animal no común, de lo que cualquier ser humano podemos ver cotidianamente, Me llama mucho la atención cuando lo tienen en una mesa de trabajo, como una mesa de trabajo y de madera, y lo tienen atrapado en una trampa, y este animal, cuando nos acercamos a ver, no había mucha iluminación en el lugar, pero se levantó, se irguió y me llamó la atención. Al verlo físicamente, dije, esto no es algo normal. En ese momento me recuerdo que él me dice, no, mire, acérquese. Le dije, no, yo creo que no, esto no es normal.
Estaba vivo.
Estaba vivo.
And that is the point here. It was alive. It was alive. Then, what you just saw is not a monkey with no skin. It was a live creature. Now I want to give you a last message for this presentation. I hope you like it, but please don't leave, because I have asked my friend Antonio Ursi to come here and answer some questions, and I'm going to also present some of the pictures from this creature. I hope you like this.
We now know we live in a colony of 3 billion stars. We should also be aware that the magnetic doors to other dimensions are no longer a thing of science fiction. Scientists consider it possible to travel into the depths of the cosmos in a relatively short time. It's commonly known that Mars is a living planet, one that most likely already sustains life, and it is now scientific fact. If the universe is at our disposal, it will be one of the biggest challenges ever. Everything will be possible. Today, we've got to look more closely at our world and be more humble in its presence, for it's given us life. It has enabled us to evolve, offering us the chance to continue growing. We all must help in recovering this world, one filled with life where millions of species flourish. The greatest crisis humanity faces these days is not due to the economic crisis or even climate change. The biggest crisis is the extinction of life forms that have kept us company up to now. This crisis of mass extinction is happening right before our eyes, and yet we somehow ignore it. It's as if it didn't matter which species could be disappearing, even though it took millions of years for them to evolve in the process. It is true that great numbers of life forms have come and gone on their own. But when those that are left over start disappearing as well, thanks to the behavior of intelligent beings, something is going wrong, especially when a thinking entity such as man stops giving importance to the reason for his very being. One day we'll be able to fly within the confines of the universe, gleefully searching for life in other worlds. We'll see that it's the worthiest deed of all. Between empty worlds, boiling stars, or sterile rocks, we'll realize that worlds capable of sustaining life are the real gems of the universe, the most exquisite product of creation. We've got to stop and look at what we're giving up here on Earth. What is taking its toll here is infinitely sad. Yet, there's still time for us to do something. Our generation can still recognize how important our existence is. By willingly transcending our earthly actions on behalf of this marvelous place, one that serves as home to millions of species whose welfare we can still look out for. The future awaits us. We know that one day we'll be like extraterrestrials, searching for and finding life on other planets, on so many, in fact, that we will see the true dimension of creation. We will see how many of these beings have turned against each other, against life itself. In the meantime, will be observing without being able to do anything, powerless, knowing that only with their level of consciousness will they be able to survive. If they succeed and join the universal cosmic consciousness, it will only be then they will understand that this consciousness is what we call God.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Gracias. Muchas gracias. 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 Muchísimas gracias. Ahora, now, two surprises. First, now we have to stop the video in the back, please. We cannot record this because our friends of Open Minds have asked us this. But I wanted to give you this exclusive. Who came from Italy. I invited him to come. Microphone, please.
Oh.
If you want to ask some questions to Antonio, this is your chance. This is going to be the new Billy Mayer. I am very sure we are going to hear a lot about this man in the very near future. He's a very humble, very simple man. He doesn't want anything for his videos, no money, no anything. He just wants to share this with you. I brought him because I wanted you to know him, because he's real and what he's doing is honest. And now is your chance to ask any question to Antonio Ursi. Please.
Buonasera a tutti.
Good evening, everyone.
Vi ringrazio dell'ospitalità e ringrazio in particolare Jaime Maussan e Santiago Iturria.
I'd like to thank you very much for the hospitality, to thank in particular Jaime Maussan and Santiago Iturria.
L'America è un posto fantastico.
America is a fantastic place.
Non torno più in Italia.
You won't go back to Italy.
Però devo filmare e il mio posto è in Italia per ora.
But I have to film and my place is Italy for now. There's a question there.
Prego.
Yeah. Go ahead. There is a mic over there. Please.
Yes, have you considered getting a tripod for your videos?
Beh, devo dire la verità, tutti questi anni qualche filmato col cavalletto l'ho fatto.
Well, actually, during these years I took some films with a tripod.
Però purtroppo i migliori filmati sono sempre stati fatti in situazioni un po' disagio.
But unfortunately, the best film footages came in uncomfortable positions.
Però vantiamo di un gran numero di filmati sul cavalletto.
But actually there are a few films on with the tripod.
Da flottillas, sfere, astronavi alta quota.
With flotillas, so groups of spheres, single spheres, or very high objects as well.
Thank you, Antonio. If I'm correct, you were the one who filmed the footage just the other day here, correct?
Today, this morning.
Today, right?
Yeah.
Stamani mattina.
This morning did.
Why do you think you're so able to find or film all these at all these UFOs everywhere you go.
Non è che penso che sono in grado, è che lo sento di filmare.
It's not that I think that I'm able to do, it's that I feel I have to film when I have to.
E in quest'ultimo periodo sento proprio la chiamata, oltre alla necessità di filmare.
And in this last period, I really feel the call, besides the need to do filming.
So you get a sense of knowing or feeling to put the camera on and take the picture?
Sì, io sento la chiamata e in particolare provo delle emozioni fortissime dentro di me.
Indeed, I feel the call and I do feel some very, very strong sensations inside me.
E questo, sottolineo, ci tengo a precisare che è andato per gradi con la mia esperienza durante gli anni.
And I would like to also highlight that this went step by step. It increased year after year with my experience.
This is a related question. I noticed that it seemed like the UFO was posing for you. It was going back and forth to remain in the angle that you could film it. So it seems to have an interest of you recording this phenomenon. And I wonder if you can go back to your childhood. When was something special have happened to you as you were growing up to establish this connection?
Sì, io ho iniziato effettivamente questa esperienza da piccolo.
Actually, this experience started when I was young.
E che io mi ricordo era molto piccolo, avrò avuto l'età di 2 o 3 anni.
As far as I remember, I must have been 2 or 3 years old. I was very young.
E ho ricordi molto chiari, delle varie vicende di avvistamento e anche di contatto in camera con questi esseri che ogni tanto mi visitavano.
My memoirs are very, very clear, very neat, of sightings as well as beings that actually came visiting me.
A questo testimonianza i miei genitori, alcuni amici.
My parents, some friends of mine can testify this.
E grazie, con l'aiuto di Jaime Maussan, siamo riusciti a raccogliere un bel po' di materiale appunto a disposizione di tutti.
And thanks to Jaime Maussan's help, we have managed to put up some material, some documents for everyone to have a look at them.
E quello che io vivevo da piccolo, oggi lo vivo però con una coscienza diversa.
And what I used to live when I was young, I'm living today, but with a different conscience, with a different understanding.
Cosa vogliono da me non lo so, però mi trovo in una situazione dove quasi ogni giorno devo trovarmi in un posto con una telecamera, con la mia telecamera a filmare dovunque io sia.
What exactly do they want from me, I do not know. But what I know is that almost every day I have to be with a camera next to me and I have to catch them on tape. Thank you.
I hope these are real, but there's some questions that still need to be answered as far as I'd be concerned. And the first one is, how come the neighbors have not been able to videotape these?
Ma questo non te lo so dire, perché comunque penso che sia un discorso un po' personale, nel senso ognuno di noi nella vita quotidiana è preso da ogni vicende.
I do not really know this. I reckon it might be more of a personal issue, a personal thing. As far as I'm aware, everyone is taken by daily life things on his daily life.
Nella zona mia in particolare, dove io e la mia compagna Simona abitiamo, ci sono molte persone che hanno avuto modo di vedere.
In particular, actually, where I live with my fiancée Simona, many people have had the chance on several occasions to witness these accounts, these sightings.
Would please try to get a second person to videotape it at the same time.
Ma effettivamente io in quest'ultimo periodo la mia intenzione è quella di filmare insieme a persone e questo sta già avvenendo da circa un anno.
We just have one more minute. I don't know.
Okay, a quick question. I never noticed only one angle of the craft also. It was always like this. I never saw the angle ever move. Do you have any videos with different angles of the craft?
Ma io di questi video ne ho fatti diversi, in particolare quelli metallici che saranno circa 15-18 oggetti. Ci sono anche altre angolazioni dove si vede effettivamente anche il palazzo, perché da dove io filmo, in particolare questi fantastici oggetti, ci sono dei punti di riferimento o dei palazzi.
There are some videos that I've taken where there are many different angles. So in some of these videos you can see buildings near the objects, so you can have different frames of reference.
Ci sono dei video del 2007, del 2006, dove si vede anche il palazzo dalla parte opposta.
In some videos from 2006 you see also the building on the other side. Thank you.
Last question.
This is very quick. I'm sure you've already been asked. Please come with us on our Skywatch tonight. Please come with us.
Volentieri.
Sure.